Now here on the Rich Eisen Podcast is America's favorite werewolf and also big-time Steeler fan, showing off the black and gold kicks. Joe Manganiello, good to see you, Joe.
Good seeing you, Rich.
So you are from Western Pennsylvania?
From Pittsburgh. Yeah, from the suburbs of Pittsburgh.
Give me a town.
From Mount Lebanon. Played football, basketball, and volleyball in high school for the Blue Devils. And went on to get a scholarship in classical theater, much to the chagrin of my father.
Is that
and all of the other coaches.
Yeah. So let's take that step here. So you are playing what position?
I played tight end and outside linebacker.
And so how did you get from the football gridiron to classical theater, Joe?
Well, yeah, it's a good question. You know, people say, oh, did you want to be an actor growing up? No way. You know, I didn't want to be an actor. I wanted to be a treasure hunter. I wanted to be a super spy. I wanted to be a werewolf. Like, I wanted to be that kind of stuff when I was a kid. You know, I didn't want to be an actor, you know. But my high school had a TV studio, and they had these cameras that they would let me borrow on the weekends. And me and my friends would go out in the woods and figure out how to make homemade squibs and just, you know, light firecrackers off of each other's chests and heads and things. And
so you were preparing for True Blood years before you were actually on True Blood.
It kind of became this thing, and my friend said, you know, you should really do this. You're really good at this. And so then the high school teachers begged me to try out for the musical my senior year, which was Oklahoma. And I went, come on, I can't do that.
Sure. Okay.
So went in and I got the part, and all the coaches told me I was making a huge mistake with my life and why are you doing this? And then after they saw the play, they came back and said, you know what? I was wrong. Well, you know, I always say that if my father would have pushed me into ballet, I'd probably be quarterback of the Steelers now. So it went the other way.
Well, I mean, steel-headed, right? So who was your guy growing up in Pittsburgh when you were rooting for the Steelers?
I was born in '76, so I really wasn't conscious for the dynasty in the '70s. So you know, growing up, all you heard was that, you know, and then there was this kind of dark period during the '80s.
Exactly.
And I never missed a game. And then, you know, of course, Cowher took over in the '90s, and the culture shifted.
Right.
You know, in the 2000s, we got our dynasty. But I mean, my guy was Greg Lloyd. He was the baddest dude on the planet.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, how about our guy, Rod Woodson?
Loved Rod. Rod was my guy too. I remember Rod, his first couple of years, I remember him trying to jump over a punter's head and kneeing him in the face and flipping off a referee and getting kicked out. I mean, he was a real wild man.
Yeah, I mean, well, whenever you see Rod's old pictures, we always joke with him. He had like this El DeBarge sort of look to him that he's since grown out of. He's so old school, and that's where you get it from. You got it from Pittsburgh.
Well, there's a Pittsburgh philosophy. They just are that way. You know, it's character first, and you know, the guys who have character issues, for the most part, they're all gone the next year.
They are, except for Ben, right?
Except for Ben. Ben's a good guy. Actually, we hung out a couple of weeks ago.
Did you really?
Yeah, we did. He was in town. He called me up, and you know, he's a big fan of True Blood, and I'm a huge fan of his. So you know, we finally got together, and basically, I was hearing all of the war stories, what was going on inside of his head during Super Bowl 43 on the final drive.
The drive that Ben Roethlisberger put together.
Yeah.
At the end of that game, is a Super Bowl MVP drive. There's no two ways about it. I mean, the game was essentially over. I mean, they're backed up deep in his own end.
2 minutes left. There was a holding penalty on the first play, so it even took us back another 10 yards.
Yep.
Doesn't even go for the field goal. I mean, he went for the end zone.
Again, the catch is incredible, but the throw is just as incredible.
Yeah.
It goes over several outstretched hands, and then lucky for the Steelers, the refs didn't call the celebration penalty on Santonio Holmes using the ball as a prop. Using the ball as a prop, because had they done that, giving Kurt Warner an extra 15 yards in the other direction, that might be a different result. But you were there.
I was there. Yeah, that was one of maybe the greatest day of my life. I mean, the build-up. I mean, at the time, I was making no money, and the Steelers were in the Super Bowl, and I didn't know when I was ever going to have another chance to see it. And so, you know, I cashed in air miles. Like, you know, I, you know, stayed with friends of friends in Tampa, and, you know, James Harrison returning that 100-yard interception. I mean, it was like, I can't even tell you the emotional roller coaster of that game as a Steeler fan.
You'll never see a play like that again in the Super Bowl. And now, your next time you go to the Super Bowl, True Blood is exploded, correct?
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm invited to play in the flag football game beforehand. And one of the greatest things about the popularity of True Blood is that all the Steelers watch it. Like, all the Steelers watch it.
What is it like on the set? It seems like it's one of those shows where you just are having a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm having a blast. You know, I get to bring that athletic side to the role. So I get to combine, you know, the drama school aspects, you know, the classical theater aspects. There's a lot of Tennessee Williams, let's say, in the show.
So you get to bring that former tight end linebacker.
Yeah, exactly.
Coach Code.
Well, you know, last year I had to tackle a guy, and I tweeted to Harrison.
Yeah.
You know, did you see that tackle? And
right.
Harrison said something to the effect of, "Yeah, man, we needed you on Sunday."
Oh, I thought he said, "Yeah, I got fined $25,000 for it." That's the joke. Is any hit that you make, he gets fined for it, just like everything else. Do you think the Steelers are targeted by the NFL? Are you one of those type of Steelers
100%. 100%.
Oh, come on,
100%.
Joe.
100%. You know, there was that fight between the Titans and Houston.
And Houston, right.
Where Andre's helmet got ripped.
The slap fight.
Okay, yeah.
The slap
ripping
fight.
a helmet off and repeatedly uppercutting someone in the face is less of a fine than James Harrison gets for hitting a man with a ball straight on. I mean, how is that? Granted, there are hits.
He does hit with the crown of his helmet a lot, Joe. There's a lot of times that he does not see what he hits.
I mean, the Colt McCoy thing, I mean, I just kind of held my hands to my face and went, oh, my God.
I saw that with my own two eyes, and I thought Colt McCoy had expired. What do you think the Steelers' season for 2012 is going to be? Give it to me.
It's going to be interesting because we're retooling. I think we go 11 wins. We win a tough division this year,
So, you think you take the Ravens out? I mean,
I think so. I mean, last year I was at the second Ravens game with Thomas Tull, who's the CEO of Legendary Entertainment, who's one of the owners of the Steelers. And this group of Ravens coaches come out of the booth, and they're all high-fiving and, you know, slapping butts and everything. And I look over and I see there's a guy I went to high school with. And I went, Andy? And he looked and went, hey, Manganiello. He used to work for the Steelers scout team.
Okay.
And now he's working on the Ravens coaching staff. And I looked down at him and I went, what happened to you? And he went, I joined the winning team, man.
Oh, no.
And so I said, try winning an expletive Super Bowl this decade, you expletive. And turned it to Thomas and I just said, man, I'm really sorry if I embarrassed you in front of everyone. I'm here as part of your crew. I'm really sorry. And he was like, nah, man, I think it's so cool that, you know, you're on True Blood and you're yelling at Ravens fans.
You just love yourself some Manganiello, don't you?
Love some Manganiello. That was one of the deepest V's I've ever seen.
Let's say if Del Tufo was here, the deep V would not have been good.
Oh, come on, Rich. I got to call my therapist now to get that image out of my mind.
First foray with the podcast, what was your favorite part of the show?
I'm going to have to go ahead and say Joe Manganiello.
Yeah.
You're a big True Blood fan?
Big True Blood fan.
You just love yourself some Manganiello, don't you?
Love some Manganiello.
I mean, what did you think of his deep V-neck?
That was one of the deepest V's I've ever seen. Maybe it was a little hopeful the deep V went a little deeper, though, I think, on him.
Well, on certain people, the deep V, like let's say if Del Tufo was here, the deep V would not have been good.
Oh, come on, Rich.
Is that wrong?
Come on. I got to call my therapist now to get that image out of my mind.
I'm just saying. Brockman, you know what Becky said to me when she knew Manganiello was coming in?
What's that?
Could you please have him take his shirt off?
Oh, gosh. I mean,
I just wanted to see you rub his abs a little.
This is a family program, Rich.
It's fantastic. Now, that's what this show needs. Next week, we got Aisha Tyler coming in.
True.
So the estrogen will continue to flow.
That's good.
We like it. Jay